Imagine waking up one morning and learning that every place you drove yesterday, the grocery store, your kid's school, your doctor's office, was quietly logged, stored, and now sits in a database that a stranger can legally request. That is not a dystopian novel. That is exactly why several cities abruptly shut off their license plate cameras after losing in court. Here is what happened. Cities across Washington installed automated license plate reader cameras made by a private vendor called Flock Safety. Police departments said the cameras were a modern crime-fighting tool. They capture images of vehicles on public roads, flag stolen cars, and help solve crimes faster. To many officials, it looked like a no-brainer. Safer streets, faster investigations, and fewer officers chasing leads the old-fashioned way. Then one court ruling changed everything. A judge ruled that the data collected by these cameras is a public record, not just reports pulled by police, but the raw images themselves. That means the records are subject to public records requests. Cities suddenly realized they were sitting on massive surveillance databases they could be legally forced to release. Almost overnight, cities shut the cameras off. Supporters of the technology argue this reaction proves the cameras work. They point to stolen vehicles recovered, crimes solved, and victims helped. From their perspective, these cameras only capture what anyone can see on a public road. No faces, no conversations, no private property, just license plates. They argue that criminals do not deserve privacy while committing crimes, and that restricting these tools puts communities at risk. Critics see something very different. They argue these systems quietly turned entire cities into tracking zones. A single plate can be followed across weeks or months. Patterns emerge. Work schedules, medical visits, religious services, political events. Once that data exists, they say, misuse is not hypothetical. It is inevitable. They point out that data sharing agreements can expand, breaches can happen, and public records laws can expose sensitive movement histories of ordinary people who did nothing wrong. Both sides are right about one thing. Once data exists, it creates consequences. This is where insurance enters the picture. When cities shut off cameras, crime prevention tools disappear. When cities keep cameras on, new liability risks appear. Either path costs money, and insurance customers ultimately pay. If cameras stay on, municipalities face new exposure. Public records lawsuits are expensive. Privacy claims are expensive. Data breach claims are expensive. If surveillance data is released improperly or accessed by unauthorized parties, cities face lawsuits alleging invasion of privacy, negligence, and civil rights violations. Those claims do not come out of thin air. They land on insurance policies, often general liability, cyber liability, or public officials' liability. Loss ratios rise, premiums follow. If cameras are shut off, a different cost appears. Vehicle theft claims rise, property damage claims rise, hit-and-run claims rise, stolen vehicle recoveries drop. Insurers price risk based on loss frequency and severity. When recoveries decline and claims increase, carriers adjust rates. Auto insurers do not absorb losses out of goodwill. They pass them along. This is the uncomfortable truth no one wants to say out loud. Whether these cameras stay on or are shut off, insurance customers pay. Cities now face a risk management dilemma. Use surveillance technology and absorb privacy liability exposure, or remove it and accept higher crime-related losses. Neither option is free. Neither option is neutral. There is also a deeper issue the court ruling exposed. When governments outsource core functions to private tech vendors, ownership of risk becomes blurry. Who owns the data? Who controls access? Who is responsible when something goes wrong? Insurers care deeply about those answers. Courts do too. As these cases spread beyond Washington, expect insurers to tighten underwriting. Expect exclusions for biometric data, surveillance technology, and data aggregation. Expect higher deductibles for municipalities. Expect carriers to demand clearer governance policies, retention limits, and access controls. And for individuals, expect indirect effects: higher auto premiums, higher municipal taxes to cover uninsured losses, reduced services as budgets shift to litigation defense. This story is not really about cameras. It is about how technology changes risk faster than laws, contracts, and insurance policies can adapt. When courts catch up, the bill comes due. The cameras may be dark for now, but the financial exposure they revealed is very much alive.